Hello, everyone. This is episode 7 of Two Amazon Sellers and a Microphone. I'm Dustin Kane, and with me, as always, is Chris Gramlich. Chris, how you doing?
Good, Dustin. How's things going with you?
Great. It's an absolutely gorgeous day here in Kansas City. I'm sitting here looking out the window at bright blue skies. It's beautiful.
Yes, it's been fantastic today.
Loving it. Yeah, well, I'm excited about this podcast today, where we're going to be talking about how to create Amazon listings that convert. This is fun for me. I spent obviously still spend a lot of time, but early on I spent a lot of time working on my listings, and that's what makes it a lot of fun selling on Amazon. So I'm ready to dive into this, Chris. This will be a lot of
yeah. This is a good topic. Yep, this is really good. Let's go ahead and get right into it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, before you do, I just want to talk about your listings on Amazon is the way to differentiate yourself. I mean, there's so many things that you can do, and there's so many components to the listings, which we're going to go through all of them. But if you can really stand out from your competition, which you have the ability to do on Amazon, I mean, it can make just a huge difference in terms of your sales and your ranking and your conversions. And so it's going to be a lot of fun to jump into this. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Chris, to get started with the first topic here.
Yeah, for sure. We talked about a couple of these things on past episodes, but first thing you want to do is definitely know what keywords you want to target. You want to make sure that you have those keywords down like a list, or you want to make sure you focus on like the top 10, because those are the keywords that you want to make sure in your title and your bullet points, even in the description, because you want to show Amazon that whenever somebody types that in, or whenever a customer types, you want Amazon to be able to see your listing or know your listing and be indexed for that listing. And what indexed is, real quick, is just showing up in search. You want to make sure that your product shows up in search when somebody types that in. And the ways to get keywords, we talked about this past episode, is you can always use the Amazon search bar, but there's tools out there that you can do like reverse ASIN search on your competitors, and you can find maybe some hidden nuggets in there, hidden keywords that you can then add to your title or add to your bullet points. A few more things here is you want to make sure that your keywords are in the main, or your main keywords are in the title, but you want to put those towards the beginning of your title. And the reason you do that is when somebody looks for your product on Amazon, you want to make sure your keywords or the main keywords are in the front, because the title kind of gets cut off, especially on mobile. So you want to make sure that your main search term or your main phrase that you're going after is towards the beginning of your title, so that when somebody types that in, they can read it very clearly and they know exactly what that product is. You can also add these to your bullets and description, just for making sure that they're getting indexed. A lot of people will not duplicate them, but I find that if you duplicate maybe your top 5 or top 10 keywords, it's not going to hurt. It may help as far as indexing goes. And then on your bullet points, as you're making your bullet points, because we've already made the title with the good keywords that you're focusing on, now that you're going to make your bullet points, you want to make sure that your bullet points are focusing on the benefits of the product rather than what your features are. And you want to make sure your customers know why your product is better than the competition. So use your bullet points to focus on the benefits of the product and not so much like the feature of it.
Yeah, those are great tips right there. Now, Chris, in terms of, this is one of the areas where when I was making my listings, I was trying to determine it. What do you feel like is more important, getting as many keywords into your title, bullets, and descriptions, or making it readable? Because you see those listings where you can tell someone's just keyword stuffing, as opposed to basically describing their product. And for me, I always found that if you really fully accurately describe your product in the bullets and descriptions and the features and the problems that it solves, you're most likely going to be hitting all of your keywords that you're wanting to go for. So I think you definitely want to have all of your keywords in there, especially the ones you're going after, but you want to organize it in a way that it's very readable and it tells the story of your product.
And I agree with you on that. We'll touch a little bit on that here in a little bit, but that's definitely a big thing that will help your listing convert better is making sure it's readable, and you're not stuffing keywords and stuff like that.
What do you think about you see product titles that are really long, really long, and then you see others that are so short that just a few words. What do you think is the right length for that title?
I personally don't have a problem with the longer title, but what I would make sure to do is make sure you look at your listing on mobile and make sure that the phrases you're going after are in front of that title. I don't have a problem with a longer title as long as it's readable and it makes sense. Some people have different thoughts than that, but they say make them shorter. But in my opinion, I don't mind having a longer title, especially if it's adding some good keywords to the title and features that people are going to read, and if it makes sense. Now, if you don't have enough keywords you're targeting, well, first of all, we talked about this in our last episode that you need to make sure that you're getting a product that has a lot of search volume and a lot of demand. So if you only find yourself with one or two keywords that you can go after, you may want to pivot and go to a different product that has more keywords that you can focus on. So we talked about that previously. But yeah, long titles, I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, neither do I. I agree totally. All right. Next up, so after we're talking about keywords in your title, bullets, and descriptions, you want to focus on images. In my opinion, the images, and I don't think it's just my opinion, I think it's a fact, are the most important factor. That's especially on mobile. The images in the title, I would say, are the most important of all the things on your listing. And especially on mobile, I mean, most people just scroll and look at the images. I mean, if they see, so they need to invest in not only high quality images, but images that tell the whole story of your product visually. So you can, whether you hire somebody or if you have this skill that you can take these pictures yourself, and we'll talk a little bit more in a second about those pictures, but it's absolutely worth the money to hire somebody to make those professional. The photos are super, super powerful, and that's the first thing they see. They'll look at that way before they look at the bullets and anything else. So you want to invest in super high quality images, and you want to make sure also that you're using every spot available for those images. So Amazon gives you plenty of spots, 7 or 9 images that you can upload to your listing, and you want to make sure you use all of those, and you want to make sure that your number one, your main image has to be just the product with a white background. So you got to find a way to really stage that so it looks good. And number two, the rest of your photos need to be your product in action, like a lifestyle photos. So if you're selling a pillow, it needs to be like a pillow that's on a nicely made bed in a nice room so they can see it. That allows them to understand better about the size of the product. So it gives them a scale to measure the size against. And also you can put in infographics, which can include things like measurements. There's all kinds of things you can put inside of your infographics, ingredients, if it's food, and you can test these images as well. So you can split test them. You can rotate your main images around to see which one creates a better conversion. But images are super important. Chris, I'll let you touch on some more things there.
Yeah, just touch on a few things. You can always use, and you may mention, you can always use services like Fiverr or Upwork. If you've never heard of Fiverr, it's Fiverr.com. Upwork is another source as well. But these are where like freelancers, they hang out. They're trying to get people to buy their gigs and then buy their services. So I would always make sure you invest in these your images, because these are things that are going to live on like for the life cycle of the product. They're not just like something you can skip on. You and I see many of listings, and we work with many sellers daily. And like the first thing we do is check their images. And sometimes there's only like 2 images.
Yep.
Like, well, this is not going to work. Like you need to have a lot more images than this too. This not only helps your listings convert better, but it's also going to help with your PPC, with your ads running. You're going to be able to convert better on your ads. So it's just a long-term play. And people don't read your bullet points as much as they used to. They look at more of your images. So the bullet points are good for, like, again, indexing and making sure your product shows up for certain keywords. But you can take some of those bullet points that you have And like Dustin was talking about, is make those infographics and add some bullet points to those images so that when people look at your product, it tells the story. Like you got your main image, you got bullet point 1 as a photo, bullet point 2 as another photo, and you just talk about the benefits of that product in your images. And you always want to pay for more photos than just like 5 or 6. A lot of these service providers will say, "Hey, we'll do 7 photos for you." But if you want to get 12 photos, it's an extra $200. Like I would pay that. It would make more sense to get as many photos as you can, or that they're willing to take, or within your budget, because you may use those in the future, whether it be on your own website or for social media ads. But you want to make sure you have those. Like you want to get those photos because you don't have to go back to them again and ask for more photos. You want to get them all at once. And then again, you could do the lifestyle photos. I would definitely do those. Those are super powerful. People want to see the product in use, and then split test like you touched on.
Absolutely. And there are ways that you can do this yourself. I mean, I have a light box at my house, so you can buy them. They're cheap. You can buy them on Amazon. It's a box where it uses the light. You can, the iPhone camera is good now. Really, you can take those high definition pictures. And then there's lots of software. There's Canva. So Canva is free. It does a really good job of you just hit one button and it makes a white background and it leaves them. So there's a lot of things you can do that are free. Another thing that I've done is, like you mentioned, I used Fiverr, and one of my products was in the fitness industry. And so on Fiverr, I found someone who was a fitness trainer, who did product photography. And so I was able to send them my products, and they were taking pictures of people using it in the gym. So and they were really high quality photos, and it was a great lifestyle photo as well. So
yeah, that's a good point. You can take, the cameras are good on these phones now. You could take photos with your phone and then just get somebody to edit them, like make it themselves. So
exactly. And
either one works.
And there's so many resources for that. But another thing you can do also for lifestyle photos, if you want to try to do it on your own, is you can just Google like a living room. Just Google like living room photo or any of that, and there'll be stock photography of just a really nice looking living room or whatever, where you can Photoshop your product in there or whatever you're looking for. If you wanted to put your product wherever, you can put it in there. And those, if you know what you're doing, you can make good quality photos that way as well.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And again, always split test it. Test
Absolutely.
it again.
Absolutely.
I'm going to let you talk about this one. So tell us about tools or ways to outsource if you wanted to create a listing, because there's things out there you can do. You could either do it yourself by creating the listing yourself, like making the title and bullet points, or there's other ways that you can maybe outsource this and go through that.
Oh, sure. Well, there is absolutely a ton of freelancers that do this. I mean, if you go to Upwork or Fiverr and you type in like Amazon listings or any of that, there's thousands of people that's all they do is they'll write all your bullets, titles, descriptions. They'll take your photos and Photoshop them into great listing images. So you can definitely reach out to Fiverr. There's other services, Merchant Words. I know they do listings as well. They'll do the whole deal for you. So you can definitely use those tools. And then you can use tools like Helium 10 or Jungle Scout. They actually can walk you sort of through the entire process of finding your keywords. Especially in Helium 10 is the one I'm most familiar with. They'll move your keywords into a listing creator, and then it sort of checks them off every time you've used that keyword in the bullet points. And then you can actually hit one button and that will upload directly to your product listing on Amazon for that. So Helium 10 is great to walk you through that entire process for sure. Any other ones that you use, Chris?
I've always just done the Helium 10 route. I've recently pivoted from doing it myself, and I've got a good freelancer that I use on Fiverr, and it's affordable, and I just send him competitor products that I'm trying to go after, and he just creates a listing that's probably better than what I would have done.
Yeah.
So I rather eat I think it's like $49 or $47 that he charges me,
Mm-hmm.
and just pay it, and then I don't have to worry about it.
Absolutely. Well, you brought up a good point there about competitor listings. That's the majority, I feel like, of what I do when I try to create the listing is if you find your 3 or 4 biggest competitors, the ones that are highest ranking, lots of reviews, and you just try to outdo them, you try to make better pictures. You try to make sure that you incorporate all the keywords that they have in their listings into your listings, but rewrite them better. You can always find a way to make it better than the competitors. And that's really what you're trying to do with the listing. It's just you need to be better than everyone else that's selling out there, and that will help your conversions.
Yeah, I talked to a seller this morning, and I kind of just bring up this analogy, like, look at your listing as like your house or your car or your office space. Like, this needs to be immaculate. Like, you want to make sure it's spotless. And what I mean by that is you want to make sure everything is lined up right. You got the right number of photos, your title sounds good, bullet points are spot on. You got the A+ content stuff we're going to talk about here in a minute, but you got all that stuff going, because when somebody comes to your listing, you don't want them to leave. You want them to focus on your listing and just automatically add to cart and buy. You don't want them to leave, go look at somebody else's, and kind of fish around on your product page because there's multiple people targeting you. You want to make sure you keep that attention, get their attention, and get them to buy. And that's why your listing has to be spot on. And again, we touched on this earlier. It's going to help your ads. We talk with sellers a lot, and they're always like, "My ad's not performing." Like, okay, let's look at your listing. What's your conversion rate on your listing? If your conversion rate is low on your listing, you have a listing problem, not an ad problem. So you need to fix your listing so your ads perform better. So it all goes in together.
It's for sure. And I really like that analogy, Chris, about it's your house or it's your office. It is real estate. Your listing is real estate on the most trafficked website out there. And so you want people coming to your door and not going somewhere else. And the way you can think about the listing in general is the different components do different things for you. Like the main image and your title, if they're good, you're going to get really high click-through rates. Okay. People they're going to see your product and they're going to want to explore more. So it'll click through. Everything else, like your descriptions, the rest of your images, all of that are going to produce higher conversion rates if they're good. So higher click-through rates and higher conversion rates obviously mean more sales and your ranking starts to improve, and it's just a cycle. So you can think of it that way as well. All right, you want to touch on these, Chris?
Yeah.
There is more thing, and I'll intro you here on this next topic, but you can add more things to your listing. Chris, you're going to talk here in a second about A+ content and video, but there's other stuff that's on your listing as well that improves over time, like reviews, like the questions and answers that come in from your customers. All that stuff just over time, and you can help it along as well, but over time that just builds into a more and more impressive listing. We'll definitely touch on reviews and all that stuff in more podcasts, but talk about what happens when you get brand registered and then other additional things that you can add to your listing now.
Yeah, brand registry is nice to have. It's a good little feature to add to your account. And basically what you need to do is prove to Amazon that you have a trademark, and they'll give you access to brand registry. Now, it used to take longer to get your trademark in place, but Amazon has rolled out a program where you can basically hire a lawyer or an attorney, and you can get it done faster than the 9-month period. So, but once you get brand registry, it gives you access to more things that you can do with the listing. And some of those are A+ content. And it used to be A+ content and video, but Amazon recently gave video to all sellers. So every seller can add a video to their listing now. You don't have to be brand registered to do that. But for A+ content, that is still a feature for brand registry. And A+ content is good to have. It kind of takes the spot of the description on your listing. It takes that over and kind of gets rid of your description. Now, I would still have a description, because that's still going to be like indexing. It's going to help you for keywords, and it may pull in some stuff for Google as well. But it's going to replace that on the product page. And if you scroll through the listing, if you scroll down the page on the listing, especially on mobile, it's like right there in front of your face. It's more. You can add more images to this section. You can use comparison charts. So if you have another product that you want people to see, or if you sell a line of products, you could put these in comparison and drive more traffic to your other products that you sell. It just gives you a lot more real estate, again,
Right.
to display your product and show more images to your product. Now, something I would do is when you create your A+ content, make sure the photos, it doesn't have to be exact, but make sure your photos are different in your A+ content than they are on your images section, because they're already going to see those. And Amazon has recently taken like your main images that are in your listing, and they added those as well to the bottom of the below the scroll. So you're going to get, so when somebody goes to your listing on Amazon, they're going to see your main images, and then they're going to scroll down again, and then they're going to see your A+ content, and then they're going to see your images again. So I would make those different so that you just don't confuse the customer there. And then on the video side, add video to your listing. People like to watch video, especially if it's entertaining. Keep it short, get right to the point, and then you can use this video, especially if you're brand registered, for sponsored brand video, which we'll talk about in future podcasts. But again, this is all stuff that's going to help your listing convert. It's going to help your ads convert better, and you're going to rank better organically the more that people buy through your product.
Great points there, Chris. I mean, it comes down to basically Amazon allows you to do a lot of things. Okay, you have all these options. You have the title, the bullets, the descriptions, all these images, videos, really, really nice A+ content that you could do. You need to do all of it at a high quality level. Don't skip out on anything. I mean, it's there. It doesn't take that much effort to really separate yourself by doing all of this. So you want to make sure that you're absolutely attacking all these different things the best that you can.
Yeah, these are all important. So don't cheap out on this. You want to make sure your listing is spot on.
That's right. Do we have anything more to cover on that listing part, Chris, or do we hit all?
Yeah, we got a couple of other things here.
Right.
We got some things that you may want to do is split test the listing. There's a service out there called PickFu, PickFu, where you can, for a small fee, they will split test your listing or split test your main image with real Amazon customers. That's a good source to do. Or if you've already built your audience, or you have friends and family around and you want to get their opinion, just reach out to them and say, which photo do you like better, A or B, or A, B, or C? And kind of see what their opinion is. Because a lot of people make this mistake, especially sellers, is they fall in love with like an image. They think that's like their main image, and that's going to be the one that's going to convert. So after you do these tests, you find out maybe you were wrong, and maybe you should go with a different photo.
I've done that. I had a product that almost a year I ran it with this image I thought was fantastic as the main image. And then I just decided, let's try to split test this. And I was so wrong. And it was an image I didn't think would convert better, but it does. And so testing and data is also so important. And if you are brand registered, you can split test some different things too, like your A+ content, which do it. I mean, it can only help. You're going to find out better ways to get conversions on your listing.
Yeah.
Well, I think we covered a lot there about this, and it is super important. Your listings are like what we talked about. It's your real estate on Amazon, so you want to take care of it. You want to maintain it. You want to test different things that work. But so get out there and start taking some pictures and editing your listing.
For sure. Yeah, and just to end on something, make sure you know your conversion rate, because you'll want to make sure you track that, especially when you start changing images and titles. So go find your conversion rate. It's in your Amazon reports, because then you'll be able to see the improvement. Like if you change a main image, you'll be able to see how much your conversion rate changed. And just like a 1% change can make a big difference.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, great stuff, Chris. Once again, enjoyed talking with you and talking about listings. It's a lot of fun. We'll be back at this again tomorrow. Same time, same place. If you guys are out there, and please subscribe to this podcast. This is a newer venture for us, but we're going to be doing this daily. We'd love to have you tuning in, getting the notifications when we publish new episodes. So please subscribe. We're available on all channels where podcasts live. So find your favorite and subscribe.
You can also check us out on Facebook Live. We do these live every day on Facebook. So check us out there. It's Sellozo, Sellozo. Come on, you can ask questions and we'll answer live for you.
Yeah. And again, like the page, like Sellozo's page. You'll get notifications when we go live. On Facebook, we have some slideshows that we're using for this podcast, so you get a little bit more visual on there as well. So please like us, like Chris said, on Sellozo, and you'll get the notifications when we're live. Again, Chris, tons of fun, and we'll be talking to everyone tomorrow. See you, man.
All right, see ya.